Yeah, well, I'm Lare Ayoola. I'm the Executive Chairman of Tranter IT, IoT Africa Networks, and SwiftTalk. And we provide a number of services to the Nigerian economy, to Nigerian businesses, Nigerian industry. Tranter IT is over 16 years old, and we provide, the full name of the company is Tranter IT Infrastructure Services Limited. So we provide IT infrastructure services. So we design and build the IT infrastructure for organizations. We also provide support for the IT infrastructure. But we go one step further, and we provide IT support for even for the clients. So for example, we provide IT support to several of the top banks, their basic IT support as well as their digital banking support, which means we ensure that the customers who are using their electronic payment systems have an excellent experience. And since we've been doing that for a few banks, we've seen that the number of people that have chosen to use the POS systems of our clients has increased exponentially and dramatically. So we provide those kind of services. We also provide services in the IT automation area, ensuring that we provide services that make running the IT infrastructure easy and more effective, making it easier for our clients to obtain the necessary information that they need to identify the challenges and the stresses and strains on their IT infrastructure, and also to manage their assets and to make sure that every incident is logged and all the metrics can be identified, etc. So we've provided those kind of services for many years. Of course, we provide the simple things of supplying, technical products and equipment and so on. But Tranter IT has recently, over the last 2 years, diversified into the IoT environment. In the IoT environment, IoT stands for the Internet of Things. And we set up an SPV called IoT Africa Networks Limited. And IoT Africa Networks is the Sigfox operator for Nigeria. And Sigfox is the largest low power wide area IoT network provider in the world. So we are the exclusive partner in Nigeria, and our job basically is to provide an infrastructure in Nigeria that enables IoT connectivity, basically the devices that will measure certain things such as temperature, pressure, flow, humidity, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, geographical positioning, and so on. Those devices will be able to talk to a network, and the network can now talk to you and provide you with the information that you need. So IoT is one of the fastest growing industries in the world, providing technology that is useful to all verticals. So IoT Africa is forging ahead and doing very well in the market today. So with IoT Africa, we are looking and focusing at the agricultural sector, providing smart agriculture. We're looking at the oil and gas industry to enable digital oil fields. We are looking at the health sector to provide easy monitoring of outpatients. We're looking at the home and security and safety area so that we can ensure that intrusion can easily be detected, where you can have wireless smoke alarms that can be installed so that if there is a fire, the fire can be reported over our network to the command center and to your own phone or laptop. We're looking at gas in particular, where we would be able to provide smart gas meters, and we do provide smart gas meters to enable the gas distributors to have an easy way to identify who's using the gas, how much gas they're using, when they need replenishment, how much they have consumed, how much to bill, etc., etc. So in all, the services provided by Tranter IT Infrastructure Services and IoT Africa Networks is a range of services that does simply one thing. We solve problems for businesses, and we contribute to the enhancement of our business or of our clients, or the businesses of our clients. Then we talk about SwiftTalk. SwiftTalk is an ISP that's been in operation for over 17 years, and they provide data connectivity services to corporate clients, and they have been growing steadily and are doing very well. So so the group focuses on technology, and focuses on critical technology that will help that will contribute meaningfully to the GDP of this country, and more importantly, help to develop opportunities for the young and even the old, so that we can, so that everybody can be happy in Nigeria. When we talk about the achievements of the companies in our group, in Tranter IT and in IoT Africa and SwiftTalk, the achievements are several, because the group is not a young group. So we're looking at a situation where, going back 16, 17 years, that was really the beginning of the IT industry in Nigeria. And so we were one of the pioneers, pushing forward to make sure that IT becomes embedded in the business ecosystem in Nigeria. It was a tough job. Many of our colleagues who started along with us are no longer in business. And so we have been resilient. The challenges we faced initially was adoption. And we're happy that at the end of the day, we were able to offer our services to the banking sector and be one of the pioneers to receive outsourced contracts. So banks outsourcing their IT support to us was very, very new at the time that we achieved that. In the case of the of internet service provision, we were competing against some very powerful players in the market, and we were able to overcome the initial inertia to doing business with smaller companies. And we went as far at some point, we were now providing the data connectivity for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, for people like for companies like Lafarge and Leadway Assurance and Flour Mills, Aero Contractors, and companies like that, companies who seriously value their ability to communicate with their branches and their customers. So we've overcome a lot of challenges that came. But in terms of achievements, one of the greatest achievements that gives me a lot of pleasure is the achievement of creating employment in the associated companies of over 400 people, and that is our staff strength in the associated companies that I just mentioned. In Tranter IT, SwiftTalk, and IoT Africa is over 400 people. That to us is an achievement. However, in terms of where I think we should be going, and we can go, is actually to create employment for thousands of Nigerians. I mean, from the very beginning of our journey in the IT environment, we took training very seriously. So we have invested hundreds of millions of naira in training our people. When we started off with, providing services on the Microsoft platform, there were very, very few Microsoft certified systems engineers around. So what we did was to identify the best 3 Microsoft certified systems engineers in Nigeria, and we employed them. And when we now asked them to go into our classrooms that we had built and start training people. We trained hundreds and hundreds, and somebody was reminding me the other day that we had actually trained thousands of engineers. In our company at one time we had over 45 Microsoft certified systems engineers and another 46 or so Microsoft certified professionals who were on their way to become certified systems engineers. And we have taken training very seriously, and even now we still train nothing less than about 100 engineers every year. Of course, the engineers don't stay with us forever. We want them to, but as they get experience and knowledge, they move on to greener pastures, and we're very happy for them. When we look at the projects that we're working on, my mind goes all over the place because we always have projects that we're working on. And recently, we've with age and wisdom, the tendency is for me to prioritize, and I've looked at it. And sometimes when you prioritize in the immediate, you look at the immediate future, and you may not see the opportunity to derive profits in the immediate future. But we don't think long term. We think we don't think short term. We think medium and long term. So what we are doing basically is we have identified what is in short supply in terms of skilled manpower in Nigeria. What is useful for Nigeria in the future, and what do we need to do to bridge the gap between where we are now, which is a dearth of skilled manpower, and where we should be in having an abundance of skilled manpower to cope with the many challenges coming to the country in the future. And I'm not talking about really challenges from a negative perspective. The economy is going to grow. ICT in this country is going to grow. There's absolutely no doubt about it. ICT will overtake the oil industry revenue in the very near future. Technology is the way to go. So what are we going to do to make sure that we have sufficient manpower to meet the needs of this country? So what we're doing basically is to set up courses and programs that we are introducing to the university or the tertiary education system in this country. One of such courses is a course on IT automation. IT automation is so critical to the effective deployment and maintenance and delivery of IT services and IT infrastructure services in industry in Nigeria. But it is it's one of those things that has literally been ignored, but it's critical. Microsoft was really keen to have a Microsoft certification was fantastic, but now you have to have more than that. You need to be able to manage your Microsoft platform better. Therefore, what we're talking about is going to the universities and partnering with the not just universities, the tertiary educational institutions in Nigeria, partnering with them in order for us to share with them our knowledge and to deliver the necessary knowledge to their level 3 and level 4 graduates in order for the graduates to be adequately skilled, knowledgeable, and able to serve industry on leaving university and after having served on their NYSC. One of the other programs that we are embarking on right now is in the area of digital agriculture or smart agriculture, smart farming. Agriculture is going to be the bedrock of our economy. And of course, food security is something that the world is taking very, very seriously. So how do we contribute towards food security using technology? By introducing smart farming, using the Internet of Things and the Sigfox network that we're building, and in fact have already built across Lagos State, parts of Ogun State, the main business districts of Abuja and the main business district of Port Harcourt, and we're expanding beyond that. Having built the infrastructure, we need to ensure that we make it relevant to the economy. So smart agriculture is key to help to monitor produce from the time of harvest and from the time that the seed is put into the ground until it reaches your table to be consumed. And IoT can handle and monitor the entire process, the entire supply chain, the entire production process, and the entire supply chain. Like I said earlier, we have looked at our entire ecosystem within the Nigerian economy, and we have identified certain agencies that are particularly important to us. And indeed, we have reached out to most of them already. There are obviously some in different parts of the country that we haven't reached out to yet, especially in the tertiary, relating to the tertiary institutions, but we will reach out to those ones in the next 30 days. But we have reached out, and the agencies were working closely with the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. We're working closely with the National Information Technology Development Agency. We're also reaching out to Galaxy Backbone, NICOMSAT, NCC, NIPOST, and others. Basically, every agency that has been mandated to facilitate, to improve, to enhance the digital economy, we are partnering with them because in order for us to contribute the most to the economy, we have to synchronize our plans and our objectives with those agencies. We're also looking at talking to agencies and ministries, agencies and departments within the state governments. For example, we're talking to the Ministry of Agriculture in Lagos State. Lagos State, like a few other states, is taking agriculture very, very seriously. And indeed, we want to be a part of that program, especially in being able to enhance their IT infrastructure, to be able to take full advantage of the Internet of Things, to enhance the understanding and the skills, the knowledge of farmers in Lagos State, for example, and farmers elsewhere in the country, so that they can understand what the Internet of Things can do for them, what smart agriculture is, how they can monitor the moisture in their soil, the temperature of their soil, the nitrate level, the carbon levels, and to monitor the rainfall on their farms, and use that information to improve their decision making. When should they plant? When should they harvest? When should they water? How much water should they use? How much irrigation should they apply on their farms? What is the acidity levels of their soil? This kind of information is new to many farmers, and we will be providing the tools and the equipment, the solutions to enable farmers in Nigeria to be the most efficient farmers in the world. Our social responsibility programs have gone on for many years. As a business, where the groups actually, or should I say, one of the first companies and the associated companies is over 30 years old, and from the very, very beginning, we have contributed meaningfully. We've never had huge resources to train thousands and thousands of people all at once. But then again, we're not a university. But we've always contributed towards the development of people. Now, there are two ways of doing it that we have done it. One of the ways has been to make sure that we employ young people who have limited skills, and then we train them thoroughly to acquire the skills required to be the best in their field. So if they're going to be an HR person, we do the necessary things for the HR person. If they're going to be an IT engineer or an IT infrastructure specialist or an IoT specialist and so on, we put the necessary effort and the necessary resources into them. So like I said at some point earlier in this interview, we have a program that trains nothing less than 100 engineers every year. So what does that actually mean? We take fresh graduates after NYSC, and we train them for approximately 3 months, putting them in a 6-week boot camp, and then thereafter put them on an internship program where they actually go and serve in live environments, like with our banking clients. And we make sure that within 3 months they have been sharpened, fine-tuned, and they are able to serve effectively. And they spend 3 to 5 years with us and move on. Training is very important, as I've said before. So in terms of our community programs, we have done several things, such as participate in government initiatives to lend, how can I say, our brains to the great efforts of our federal government and state governments. And we have succeeded in contributing reasonably to that program. Scholarships, we have given scholarships in the Niger Delta in the past in the hundreds. We used to be very serious. We used to have an IT training school called ExecuTrain, and during that period we gave away hundreds of scholarships to the Niger Delta indigenes, because we used to make most of our money from the Niger Delta, so we gave back to that environment. Now we're looking at working with the Lagos State government to provide training for the farmers on IoT, on the Internet of Things, on smart agriculture, and we'll be doing the same thing with the federal government in partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency, and that is one of our prospects for 2021. So all in all, if we don't have the resources to train the millions that we'd like to train, what we're doing is to ensure that even if we can train only a few hundred a year, then we train them and we make sure that they're useful to the economy of Nigeria. Yes, it's been a wonderful time talking to you today, at least presenting a little bit about Tranter IT Infrastructure Services Limited and IoT Africa Networks and SwiftTalk Limited, I think, you know, all of this has been possible because of the efforts of our President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, who has taken the development of the information communication technology industry and the digital economy as a whole very seriously. It's evident everywhere in the economy today, in the behavior of the government, in the adoption of technology and so on. And because of this incredible move and very brave move by our dear President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the IT industry is thriving, is going to thrive even further. We in Tranter IT Infrastructure Services Limited and IoT Africa Networks and SwiftTalk Limited want to pledge our support to the President for doing such a fantastic job. The ICT industry and the digital economy has been looking forward to this type of support and this type of encouragement and this type of focus for many years. And we are really excited about the future of Nigeria and of the Nigerian digital economy. So to our President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, we thank you and we wish you a wonderful 2021.